Hey everyone, we are super excited to be spreading awareness and destigmatizing mental health in the Black and Brown communities.
This podcast is a safe place for us to discuss our adversities and even our shortcomings. We all have a story.
Just remember, no matter what we go through, our story goes on. Hi everyone, welcome to Our Story Goes On. Welcome back. We are on episode 16, and we have a special guest today with me.
See the calm wave.
Introduce yourself.
Hi guys, it's Big Rob from the Crossing Minds podcast.
Yes. We have Rob here from the Crossing Minds podcast, and he is with his fiance, right?
Yes.
In that podcast?
Yes.
So yeah, tell us a little bit about your podcast.
Our podcast is amazing. I am the best part of the show. She's there to support, and I appreciate every bit of her support. Love you, baby. We run a relationship podcast. We get a little spicy on there. It's a lot of debates. We do man versus woman. We do relationship with parents, relationships with your job, business relationships, any kind of relationship we're there to talk about.
Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, you guys always crack me up. There's a lot of there is a lot of debates that go on and stuff. But
a lot of vulgar
but it's good.
debates.
Yeah, so that's good. And you guys have been doing it for how long?
I think going on 3 years.
Oh,
I think
okay.
we've been potting. I've been potting for 3 years. She's been potting for like 4.5.
Oh,
I
okay.
think.
Gotcha.
So she's the pro. Like I'm just following. I'm the star, but I'm following under her tutelage. Good job.
I don't know if she would say the same thing though. Maybe she says it.
She probably wouldn't say the same thing.
Yeah. So all right. Well, thank you so much for being
No
here.
problem.
I do appreciate
It was great.
it.
Soundflow family. Right?
Yes, exactly. And Joe is usually here with us, but she is away this weekend, so she had to step out, which is totally fine. You know, I always hold it down, or I try to with Jay.
Who's that?
Okay, so let's get right into today. Well, actually no. Before we get into it, what Joe and I usually do is we do check-in. So we have to do a check-in with you, Rob, because
A
you're here.
check-in. Okay.
Yeah,
How
so
does
we
that
usually
work?
ask each other how we are.
Okay.
Even though I see Joe like every other day.
So I'll ask you first. So
Yeah,
then I get to,
so basically, how are you today? How are you feeling?
How are you today, and how are you feeling?
Yeah, are you asking
Well,
me?
I'm asking you. Yeah, so you go first, so I get my answer right.
So today I'm feeling good. I saw Black Panther last night. I cried
Jealous.
like 3 times. But other than that, I'm pretty good. Work was easy this week,
Okay.
and I'm going to my sister's boyfriend's birthday party right after this, so should be good. I'm looking forward to my cousins are going to be there and his friends and all that, so it should be good.
Okay, good.
So overall, I'm
Awesome.
pretty good. I can't really complain. I'm very lucky with work. I don't work
Oh, nice.
Fridays,
Oh,
so
nice. Super
I have
nice.
like a whole extra day of like the weekend. So
Just
I usually
chilling.
do like a lot
Like
of
a
stuff on
3-day
Friday, so that way
weekend.
I could chill out on Saturday and Sunday.
Right.
Now that I'm able to do that, but yeah. So other than that, I'm pretty good.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
great.
Now, what about you? How are you? How are you feeling?
I'm amazing. I'm great. My kids are great. My fiance is great.
Mm-hmm.
I think, right? Are you great? Yep, she's great. And if
Thumbs
she's
up.
great, I'm amazing. You feel me? Like, no, great week. Kids went to school all week, even though everybody else's kids were home. So that was awesome. I got to spend a lot of time. Election week, so
Oh, okay.
a lot
Oh,
of
yeah,
kids
yeah,
were
yeah.
home, but my kids were in school. Me and my son hung out like all week, so that was amazing. I had a very chill, calm, peaceful week. And it's
good.
just leading into a more peaceful weekend.
Yeah.
Very jealous that you saw Black Panther, but I promise you I will see it real soon.
Yeah,
And that's it. Other than that, I'm great.
that's good. Wait, how many kids do you have?
4.
4 children.
4 of them things.
Oh my goodness! Wow, that's a busy household.
Very busy. 4 kids, 2
4
cats,
kids,
a
but
dog.
that's so beautiful,
you know?
though. That
Yeah.
really is beautiful.
It's
I
full.
can't wait
It's
to
a
have
full
kids.
house. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah,
You'll enjoy it.
I really can't
have
wait.
fun though before because
Everybody says it, but I'm
fun's
ready.
over. No, yeah, fun's over when
I know,
when
I
they
know.
get here. It's a different kind of fun.
Yeah, no, I totally get that.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like the primary reason why I saw Black Panther yesterday, other than I really wanted to see it, but I was so scared I was going to see spoilers.
Oh no,
So
for sure.
I was like,
yeah.
I have to see it because everyone's going to be talking about
Yeah,
it.
that's
So
why
I had to see it.
I used to hate spoilers. Now I love them
Really?
because they don't change my experience in the movie. It actually builds anticipation. It's like, oh shit, this happens. Well, I can't wait to go see it because it's nothing you're gonna say to me is gonna make me visualize exactly what happened. And I don't go
Okay.
in the movie trying to guess the next scene. Like, I know a lot of people that do that. I think that's weird.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, I knew this was gonna happen. Just watch the movie.
Right,
just
right.
just watch it. So I
Yeah.
go in there with, no matter what the spoilers are, I might have read the whole script. It doesn't matter. Like, I'll go in there so excited, smiles and all that. So
Interesting.
yeah,
Okay.
I kind of got over the spoiler culture.
I guess that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
But I also feel like FOMO, especially with Black Panther.
What?
Like everybody saw it, but I haven't.
Oh yeah, no,
That's
that's
like
how I feel
another
right
reason
now.
why I
That's
feel
how I feel right now. I promise. If it takes too long, bootlegging it up.
Yeah, right.
Delete that though. Don't put that. Just bleep that out.
Right, but no, it was good.
Good,
It's
no.
nothing like the first one, of course. I feel
No.
because there's no Chadwick, but I really liked it. I liked the whole storyline. So
I'm excited for
yeah,
it.
and I'm not really actually a huge Marvel fan.
No?
I'm not like against it. I'm not. I won't sit here and say, "Oh, Marvel's bad" or anything. I just have never really been able to get into Marvel, but I've always
Okay.
liked Black Panther. 'Cause-
I've been in there since like 2008.
Yeah, my
I can't
sister,
stop.
my twin sister is the same exact way. She's been a Marvel fan. I mean, she's tried to like get me to sit there and watch every single movie from beginning, and I like fall asleep. I'm like, I can't do this.
Nah, I've
But-
been in there. I was working at the movie theaters when Iron Man and the Hulk came out in
Iron
08.
Man. See, I've
so-
seen Iron Man.
Yeah, I was stuck.
I've seen like Spider-Man and stuff, but
But
I
you
don't
don't
know.
follow
But I don't
each-
follow. Yeah, I can't.
Okay, now that
yeah.
makes sense.
Like my husband made me go with him to watch Avengers once. I'm like, what is going on? It was like the one where, like, seriously, the end game. I think it was. It was good,
oh,
but I
see,
had no
that's
idea
crazy,
what was
'cause
going
I was-
on. Yeah.
Listen, see, that's crazy. Iron Man snapped his fingers. I was in there shedding tears. She had to hold me. Listen, she had to hold me through like several Marvel movies. Like,
Yeah.
it got real emotional. In
But
there
that
for
one
me.
was sad though. Even though I didn't necessarily follow it, I was like, "Yeah, this is
Yeah,
sad."
no, it got sad.
I did cry on even that one because I'm
Yeah,
like,
see?
"Wow, this is really sad."
It gets sad.
But
Jay,
I'm an emotional person. I'm a Cancer, so. All right, so you ready to get into it?
oh, let's go.
Yes.
I'm ready.
So-
I'm here for it.
For today's topic, we're going to be talking about social media and mental health. So basically, the effects of social media on your mental health, just like I said. So, as we all know, social media is the center of basically the world right now.
Facts.
It really is. So there is Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat. I probably am missing a couple, but
Few.
yeah. But basically, social media has been around for quite some time now. I mean, MySpace was the OG. So that's what started it all.
MySpace here started.
I'm saying my
everything.
age, but yeah. MySpace was
Yeah, MySpace was where it was at.
MySpace was the
we
best.
were coding and stuff in MySpace though. You remember we had to go on there and actually type in to get those wallpapers and
Oh,
we was copying and paste, but
yes.
we knew what we were
That's
doing.
so
we knew
true.
what
I
we
forgot.
Yeah, we knew what we were doing. Ask me to do that now and I have no clue what's going on. Like
Yeah.
I have no clue at all.
No,
None.
that's so I completely forgot about that. Actually,
Yeah,
the
nah, that
top
was
8.
us.
I remember
top.
top 8 was like
That's the
so
that's the
much
beginning of
drama,
the
yeah.
drama. That's the beginning of it.
yeah. I always remember like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, top 8. Why did that person? I
Well, I'm
remember
on-
my twin sister always wanted to be my number one, but I was like, you can't be my number one. You can't be my number one. Like you're my number one in
was
life, but you can't
tough.
be my number one on MySpace.
That's tough. Right. And then sometimes you can shorten the top 8 to just
Yes,
a top
that's-
4.
That's true.
Oh, I only got 4
So
people
many
up there. I don't got
memories.
space.
Top 32.
That's true. I forgot about that. You could have shortened it. Yes. So, as good as social media is, I think it definitely has its benefits, but I
True.
also think it could be very toxic.
Very.
It could be pretty much like effective in a negative way in a lot of different ways.
Facts.
So, like the benefits of socialization from person to person, face to face, a lot of people have done research on how it is to interact with people face to face and
Versus
how
online.
yeah, versus online and how much it actually changes the way that you like your brain is. It's very different when you're interacting with a person online.
Facts.
So I wanted to actually, so it says, I was actually looking into this about like actual like benefits of it. So I had read an article. It says, according to an article in Medical News Today, a psychologist named Susan Pinker stated that direct person-to-person contact triggers parts of our nervous system that releases a mix of neurotransmitters tasked with regulating stress and anxiety. So it's a lot of when you have the person-to-person contact, it actually releases something that you're able to have less anxiety, less stress. which is interesting to me too, because as a therapist myself, I work with a lot of people that now have social anxiety, way more than when I even first started becoming a therapist. It's not like I've been a therapist for decades. I'm still kind of new to the field. I've only been in it going on five years.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 years. But I don't know. I even feel like, so I started in 2018. I graduated with my master's in 2018. And then, even then, there was no TikTok. There was Instagram, but even Instagram
TikTok
wasn't
called TikTok back then. It was Musically.
Oh, yeah.
It was just for the kids.
That's true.
But
That's true. Yeah. And so even Instagram wasn't the way
was
it is
different,
now. And there
yeah.
was no reels. There were stories,
way
but
different, yeah.
there was no like reels.
Stories
so-
might have been brand new because of the Snapchat. It came from Snapchat.
Yeah. Actually, I think
Snapchat
you're
was-
right.
yeah.
It was brand. Yeah, because I remember Instagram stories coming out.
It
And I
was
was like,
different,
what
though.
is this?
It was different.
I'm like,
Yeah, no,
nobody
that was
cares.
weird, yeah.
But now it's so innate and everything. But yeah, so it just basically in-person contact, face-to-face, is actually better for you than it is to interact with people online.
Right.
And like I said, social anxiety has been such a huge, I think, prevalent issue now. And I think it relates a lot to social media
No,
and
I
the
agree.
COVID-19 pandemic.
And that was where I was going to
Yeah.
go. I said, because you said 5 years, like the 5 years you've been on, it's gone up. I think those 2 years
Yep.
where we were like stuck in the house, that didn't do, anyone any justice at
Yeah.
all. Like it was terrible. I think everybody was like comfortable being in the house after a while and people were already scared to go outside because of people. If somebody, like we coughing freely in this room 2 years ago. 2 years ago, he would have coughed. I would have panicked.
Right, right.
Somebody would have hit the.
Right.
And it's like we used to have jokes like that. Like it was
Yeah.
that bad. The cough counter that was bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's gotten a lot worse. But but I mean, I don't know what people expect. Like they're very comfortable online, so
Yeah.
I don't know how else it would go besides how it's going now.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna get better either.
No, I certainly agree. I don't think it's going to get better. And I've also even in my field, there was no such thing as video sessions. So once the pandemic hit,
You guys
I
have
mean,
been
like
doing
we
video
had to
sessions.
switch right over to phone and video. And that was like a huge thing too, because now
Right.
health insurance companies had to also change their like way of coding. I know that's like all official stuff, but they were like, wait, like, what do you mean therapy online? But they had no choice. I mean, I was very grateful that the job I had when the world basically shut down, my company never did.
Okay.
So it was more like, okay, this is it. Our CEO had been kind of anticipating it, honestly. So he had been working on like what we can do when that actually happens.
Right.
I think he said like starting like in February of that year, he was like, yeah, something's gonna happen, and we have
So
to,
he
like,
knew because everything got shut down in March.
Yeah, so literally,
Oh, wow.
like we shut down that Monday, and we were doing sessions that Monday.
How did that
Just-
go initially? Because I'm guessing, is it better or more comfortable for your clients to be in person, or is it better for you guys to have them in person? Or
Yeah, I mean, personally for me, I prefer in-person therapy 100%.
Okay.
I do have clients who prefer telehealth because it is so convenient that they could be in their car on their lunch hour. They
right.
can be at their home at 8 o'clock at night if they need that session at that time. So it is, the convenience wise, it is, but I mean, it was hard. Like I was working from home from March of 2020 through basically February of 2022.
Oh my
So it was
jeez.
yeah, and
that's
we were
2 full years.
yeah,
like,
we were
wow.
allowed to go into the office, but even when we were in the office, there were many people who were just not comfortable in coming in, and we still had to wear masks and
Right.
everything. So even
I
the
hated
interaction was so different.
Yeah.
So it's hard when I was sitting at my house, I was on my dining room table, listening to my clients express their feelings, cry, process everything, and then I had to shut that off and then live my life in my house.
On, right? Because you're in your house now.
Yeah, so
I
my
can
house is my
imagine.
safe space. I'm supposed to leave what I deal with at work, not have it in the same area. So
Right.
it was really tough for me, and especially like if my clients were crying, it's just awkward. I'm just like, I wish I
right.
could be there. I wish I
But
could.
you can't be there for them.
Yeah,
They're just
so-
crying on the screen.
Yeah.
You're kind of just sitting there like,
Yes, exactly. I'm just kind of like, it's okay. It's like so awkward.
no, that's tough. That's tough. Just
So-
wiping the screen tears.
Right.
It's okay.
Yeah, so for me, I just prefer in-person thing. I also work with a lot of children and adolescents. It's primarily my experience. So it's like working with a 7-year-old on the computer is almost impossible. Like, and it's hard enough to work with kids because you know that with children, you always have to prepare the session.
Right.
Like with adults, they can come in and then just talk. But with kids, I can't work with an 8-year-old and have them sit across from me and talk.
Right.
So I have to always have something prepared.
Yeah,
and when I
so
was
they can
doing
do something, right?
yeah, like a game, anything. And then doing it online was just so different. Like they kind of had no choice but to talk.
Wow.
So-
how did that go?
It was okay. I mean, I think I just like made it work as much as possible. It's just that, but I just didn't like it. So I try my very best to be in my office as much as I can. Things have changed now.
understand.
There's a lot of
things are more normal
things
now.
are way more normal
Yeah.
now. But
Or
yeah.
whatever normal is post
Right.
COVID. But
Exactly. Yeah. So with that being said, I think I've noticed that a lot of even my clients will talk about how they have online friends. So a lot of the question of
I guess,
it's just kind of like, oh, like, so how's your social life? How's school? Are you experiencing any bullying? And a lot of them will say, oh yeah, I have I have a good amount of friends online.
online, and these
Yeah.
are the kids.
These are kids.
I can understand that, being that my generation, my group kind of grew up with like online friends, because
Okay.
like at least 2 or 3 people I know in real life I met through like the game. I met them
Okay.
on the game, and then because we were so cool on the game, we met in real life and actually developed a real life bond.
Okay.
Like, so if like I have a party, or like when I had my baby shower, my friend from New York, he came, but I met him online. I didn't know him before that.
Okay.
So I understand part of that, but being that they have social anxiety and these kids weren't going outside for those 2 years,
Right.
I could understand the increase in online friends too. I'm
Yeah.
not. Are they really friends?
Well, that's the thing too. Like, so I think what you're talking
yeah,
about is a
I'm
little
getting
bit
sticky.
different.
Yeah, I
even,
think it's sticky. I
because
don't know.
it's kind of like when you're talking about something that you're both doing, because you're
Right.
like, okay, we're playing video games, we're talking, we can meet in person.
Right.
But these children or adolescents, it's kind of like preteens. I've noticed that more say about their online friends. I've noticed is like on Discord.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the? Wow.
And
Like, wow,
that's-
I had to know. I'm like, what is Discord?
Nah,
Like,
Discord's insane because it's like 50 to 150 people in there. Not
Yeah.
even max. It's way more. It could be way more. But
Right.
that's where they socialize, and it's because it's more private. It's not like Facebook Live, or
Right.
they'll go on Google Meets, but they don't have to anymore because Discord does voice, it does video, it does everything. Like
Oh,
they
okay.
can be in there with another group of people. Don't have to talk if they want. Like I get it, but again, it's festering that
yeah.
that antisocial kind of
Yep. Behavior.
anxiety-filled behavior. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
really for it.
And that's why, because Discord isn't anything to do with video games, right? Isn't it just like
Not-
literally a texting app where you
Not
meet
necessarily.
people?
I don't think Discord is just people have their own personal Discord. So what they do is like they'll follow a YouTuber. Let's say you had a Discord. All your fans, everybody who supports you would go in the Discord. And even while you're not in there, you run the Discord. It's yours. But even while you're not in there, your fans, your people can be in there going back and forth, debating about any and everything, talking, making friends, video chatting each other. There's like separate rooms. And it's for anything. It's like little communities
Yeah.
with anything. Like
Oh, I didn't
there's
know
a
that.
Discord for everything. Like,
Oh, okay.
and anybody can make one. So
Yeah.
it is kind of
But I always
know.
like get nervous because like, when you're talking about like a 12-year-old telling me that their friends are online, I'm
Discord,
just like,
right.
how do you know that you're talking to another
You
12-year-old,
don't.
another
You
11-year-old,
don't.
10, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, and so that's why I always just kind of feel like it's pretty nerve-wracking to
No,
think
it
about
is.
it like
It
that,
is.
you know?
it is.
Yeah.
I definitely do a lot of policing when it comes to my son on the game. Like I know who he's playing with,
Right.
or
And that's
that
smart.
their
That's how it should
kids-
be with
yeah,
all
no
parents.
addresses are given out, anything like that.
Yeah.
Like there's certain things like we don't talk about. You don't talk about what's going on in your house. You don't, because it gets real personal. And those kids are mean. Those kids
Oh
are
yeah.
very
Oh no.
mean.
I've heard pretty bad stories like
They
bullying
get bad.
online and
Yeah,
stuff.
they get
And that's
bad.
another thing of how social media affects your mental health is the bullying aspect of it actually too. It's the fact that anyone can just talk bad about you online
Mm-hmm.
and or post anything about you online and it can go viral or it could be passed to person and
Right.
you're being made fun of and it's really terrible.
Yeah, we didn't get any of that really. Like I got bullied in real life, like when I was a kid. So
Right.
that was different than somebody posting the
Yeah.
picture and then like a ton of people seeing it, and then more people. Like I don't think our brains were ever like built to register that much attention, even though that's what
Yeah.
people want. It's like, bro, like you only know at one time 50, 60 people maybe, and you talk to 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So like going up there and getting 1,000 likes, it can make you feel great. But then you get 300 comments saying, girl, your eyebrows is crazy. Like, oh, this boy fat. Or like
Right.
our brains aren't really registered to pick up that much
Yep.
criticism.
For
and I
sure.
think that's what happens to these kids, because they're growing up in that. That's why I don't know if you heard of Finsta.
I have,
You've
which
heard of
I
Finsta?
discovered because my younger sister had one. I'm like, you
Yeah.
little.
So Finsta, for people that don't know, I mean, you could guess it's fake Instagram. The kids, all of them have it. Do not, if you don't think your kid has one, I promise you your kid has one.
Yeah.
There's an Instagram that you have that they have, that everyone can see, but then there's a very private Instagram where they post more personal things and more things with that's the
Yep.
Finsta, which is like insane to me that they have to separate it like that.
Yes, right. So that they could post maybe something that's
Something
more
real,
inappropriate.
and or something more real to them, because
Yeah.
regular Instagram is to show off a fake life, which
Exactly.
is the concept's insane to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, like
But I've noticed some people will put on their bio, follow my Finsta.
They'll
So I'm
say
like,
it.
isn't that kind of like not the point?
well, I think it's private, and then when you send
is
the
private,
follow,
yeah.
you'll send a follow
Okay.
request, and they'll look and they'll be like, no, like you can't be here, you
That's
can't be
true.
here. So they filter it out. Rather, the other one, any and everybody follows it.
Yeah.
They got aunts, uncles, cousins, they got everybody on there, and that Finsta is where they're private. And I thought that's what like close friends were for.
That's
But
true. Yeah.
Finsta came out in like like people were really doing Finsta in like 2019.
Yeah, it was a few years because I
And
found
then-
out that, like I said, my younger sister had
Right.
one. I'm like, what the hell are you putting on
Yeah,
there?
Finsta was there, and I think that's maybe where close friends might have came from, but
okay.
I'm not sure.
Maybe, yeah.
That's just a little theory.
Yeah, that's true. But I actually just backtracking on what you said. I saw this TikTok video once where the person was kind of describing exactly what you were saying. Like, we are not equipped to be scrolling for hours and one video be a very sweet video on a dog rescue story, and then the next video you see someone posting about their mom having cancer and dying.
Right.
And then you scroll to the next one, and then it's a funny some stand-up comedian posting their funny stuff. Like, the amount of emotions that we go up and
And
down
that-
with
yeah,
is
right.
something that we're not really
We're not prepared.
we're
for
not
that.
prepared
Yeah,
for
just
it. We're just not there, and a lot of people just don't realize that. But TikTok is addicting.
No, very addictive.
It is addicting.
Oh, 1000%. I love
could be
TikTok.
on that
Listen,
shit for so
I love TikTok.
long.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. I
and
love TikTok.
you know why I've realized it's so addicting is because you can never get bored on it.
No.
Like Instagram, like you
Of
can
course, yeah,
scroll
yeah.
for like 10 minutes and you'll still
You'll see something you're not interested in,
and then
or
it'll be the same thing in 10
Right.
minutes. But TikTok, I mean, there are thousands.
the
and
algorithm
thousands.
is built for that. Like,
Yes,
they
it's
make
crazy.
They cater it to. This joke is terrible. It really happened. So I didn't understand TikTok before the pandemic. I had no clue what it was. I didn't get it. But I was on the game with my son and then, like, his friends, and one of his friends was like, "Man, all I see is gay stuff on my TikTok." So every kid in the party starts laughing, and I'm like, "Yo, I don't get it." They're like, "Listen, if that's what you see on your TikTok,
Yep.
it's because that's what you like."
Right.
TikTok is built off of what
Yes.
you like, what you share, what you save.
It's crazy,
And
right?
what you, it's amazing. So I didn't believe it. So I asked, one of my brothers, I'm like, "What do you see on your TikTok?" Because I noticed we don't send each other the same type of videos.
Right,
like
right.
you send me like more anime stuff. I don't see that stuff. I send you like outside cool stuff, like
Right.
funny stuff. But he's like, "No, our TikToks are not the same." And then when he broke down to me what he was seeing on his versus what I was seeing on mine, I'm like, wow, it's
Yeah.
tailor made to me.
But you know what's so crazy though is that so I have a twin and we share.
That blows my mind every time you say that, by the way. But
Yeah, I have a twin and I also have a younger sister, so I have
Okay.
two sisters. But we share videos with each other every day, right?
Okay.
And it's funny because we felt bad telling each other this, but most of the videos that I send her, that she sends me, I already saw.
right.
Or
right.
Or like even if she'll
Right.
send me something and I'm like, oh, we'll both be like, we were just watching this. So we joke around. We're like, okay, we either have the same exact interest.
You have the same, you do.
Or people are like, but the more that you send to people, the more that they'll also
They'll
realize
cross-reference
like,
it like that. You guys like that's
Yeah,
me and
'cause-
my son. Like he'll send me something. I'm like, "Oh, I seen this," and then I'll send it to him. He's like, "Yeah, I saw this. It was funny."
Yeah, it's so- it blows my
because
mind.
That's who I send things to the most. Because again,
Yes.
I didn't get TikTok, so I'm like, I want to make sure it's a safe place for him.
Yeah.
But
no,
then when I
true.
found out, like, I can't even police what he watches because
It's
whatever
yeah.
he watches is what he watches.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
It's crazy.
yeah.
Sometimes there'll be like random things. Like there was one
They
like
test.
it was
They
like
test.
a gaming one. I was like, absolutely not.
Yeah, no,
not
yeah, you
interested.
just keep it moving. And that's what they
Like-
do. They'll throw some random stuff at you,
Yeah.
but after 30 videos straight of after 30 videos straight of you watching what you want to watch,
Yeah.
you get stuck there. They'll throw a bone at you like, oh no, I don't want to see this, and then you keep going.
Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, so in the sense of mental health, do you feel that like okay, let's get into first like the mental health and also relationships, but do you feel in terms of your mental health, like when you're on social media, do you feel your mental health being affected in that moment, or when you're done maybe scrolling?
No, but there's a specific reason why.
Mm-hmm.
Back when I was younger, like my mom, my dad, they used to watch the news a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I used to watch it too. But the news was always like depressing. They would give
yeah.
you, it was like a precursor to what's going on now. It's like, puppy gets saved from the street. Man dies in a fire. Woman falls off buildings. This guy
Right.
gets shot. Somebody fell in the sewer. I'm like, damn, like I don't want to see this
Right,
shit. Like
right.
this is too much. Like I don't want to hear about all this negative stuff and then one positive thing. So back then, I like desensitized myself to that kind of like influence. So it was from media first. So when the social media wave came around, like I missed a lot of stuff because I didn't have an iPhone
Yeah.
and I wasn't so emojis, FaceTime, sharing locations.
Yeah.
I was brand new to all of that.
Right.
So when social media came around and people were like, man, I need a social media break. I didn't understand the concept of
Okay.
what do you mean by you need a social media break? Like it's you, turn it
Yeah.
off. But that's when I found out how addicted most people were to social media and how it affected them in such a great deal. Now, don't get me wrong, there's been times, especially during the pandemic, where I got tired, like Kobe died during the pandemic, Chadwick died during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Then you hear about your friends.
Kobe died right before.
Right before the
we-
pandemic?
He died in January of 2020.
Oh crap!
So, but it was the start of a shitty
that
ass year.
shitty year. Like, yeah, it was a
Yeah.
terrible year. So, and then as a black guy, the George Floyd thing, like,
Oh, yes.
it got really tough.
Yeah, that
to,
was a
like,
really,
be-
really difficult year.
So it's like, you know what? I was like, and then there was nothing else to do. This is the one time,
Yeah.
like, there's nothing else to do, and I'm like, damn, I'm tired of all this shit, and I just threw the phone away, like not
Okay.
out in the garbage, but I just like I'm
Yeah,
over it. Like
you
I don't
shut
want
it
to see
off.
anything. And if we weren't talking, even when I was talking to Jay about it, there were moments where I was like talking to him, and I'm like, bro, like let's talk about something else, and we would always
my
change the
God.
subject
Yes.
because once it got to what was really going on in the world, like it would bring us down, and like I hated how that felt. So we would immediately change the subject,
Yeah.
something more positive. You know, even talking about getting his studio and all. Remember, we used to talk about this kind of stuff
Yeah.
all through 2020 because we got tired of talking about this guy's dead, that guy's
Yes.
dead. We
Yeah,
can't go
2020 was
outside.
rough.
It was rough. So that's the only time it really affected my mental health is because there was literally nothing else to do.
Yes,
But
and it was everywhere.
yeah,
like
it was
all that
everywhere.
was just,
you could not
yeah.
avoid it. Like you can't go outside. Like
Yep.
kids
And then the
are home.
COVID numbers too. Every day, we were,
Every
okay,
day,
1,000
yeah.
more people died today.
Then
like,
I started following those numbers. Like I got caught up because
Yeah.
again, it was scary at
was-
first.
yeah,
So
and
it's
it was
like
really sad.
yeah, I'm looking at the numbers. I'm like, damn, 5 people in Mercer County.
Right.
It's like plus 10,
Right.
plus 15. I'm like, oh my God, who got it now? Who got it now? And then
Right.
when I got it, I'm like, oh yeah, life is over. Oh my God, they called.
Yeah.
I called. I think I called. I called somebody. I got checked. They found out I had it. Then they called me like 14 days later to see if I was still alive or something. It was so weird.
Really?
It was
Oh, wow.
weird. Yeah, it was
Yeah, I know like the
super
public
weird.
health department
They
because
called.
I got COVID when the whole strain, what was this, Omicron?
The Marion one.
Something like that.
The
Whatever it was.
Omicron,
I
Omicron.
got
The
COVID. So
Omicron.
I got it at the way end of 2021. My New Year's Eve plans were actually ruined.
Because you
I
had
got
COVID.
it the day before New Year's Eve, 2021. And I also got the flu.
At the same time.
I had it at the same time. I went to the
Wow.
urgent care. I stood in line for an hour, checked in. I mean, I felt like absolute shit. Like
Yeah,
I
no,
knew
it's
I had it. I felt it in my bones. I'm like, I definitely have COVID. Like,
you know when you have it. Yeah.
I'm like, I can feel it.
That's I think everybody's reaction was that like
Yeah.
when I was like, yo, this is different. This is not
I just was just like, yeah. And then,
Yeah.
so they, I guess when they're there, like they test you for a few things, and then
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, you do have COVID, and you also have the flu. I'm like, there's no way. She's like, yeah, and I'm like, okay, but right. But for me, I think it was because I didn't didn't have like the typical flu symptoms.
Right.
She said I had like the second strain of the flu or something. She's like, so it makes sense if you're not like in pain. Like I didn't have
you
the
weren't in
body
pain?
aches. Yeah. So
Oh,
when she told me I had the
sheesh.
flu, I'm like, I
had the
everything I
body
feel
aches.
like is just upper respiratory,
okay.
not like my body. And she's
Oh,
like,
no,
yeah,
I
you
was
have like the
dying.
lesser.
I felt like I was
strain.
dying.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
felt like I
felt
was
like
dying.
I felt like crap for the first couple of days. Or I feel like it lasted like 4 days.
Really?
4 days for me. Yeah, because
Oh,
I feel like
yeah.
I remember when I first started feeling it, and Josephine and I were actually together for New Year's Eve.
Did she catch
Joe.
it?
No, I was actually with her,
shit.
and I was with someone else, and we were together from the 30th to the 2nd of January, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and she didn't get it. Neither did my friend. I was the only one. Which is crazy, but but whatever. That's neither
Yeah.
here nor there.
But yeah.
So I did also. It's interesting that you said social media break because I actually wanted to get into that as well. I feel that I've never actually like deactivated any of my accounts.
Right.
I definitely have taken breaks though where I delete the app and I just won't go on them. I haven't gone there yet with TikTok.
No, I think
Because
TikTok's
I
safe.
feel like TikTok is for me. TikTok
TikTok's
doesn't make
safe.
me feel like crap,
Right.
and I wanted to get into that with Instagram because the thing with like you were talking about with like the For You page and everything.
Mm-hmm.
My For You page is nothing but dogs and
It's like happy stuff, like
puppies
whatever
and, like,
you really
just
like.
really funny.
Yeah.
Some mental health sometimes, but for the most part, it's literally dogs because I love dogs so much. They
So,
are
yeah,
my
it's all
favorite creatures. Besides, they're better than humans.
I felt like that was coming, but
But so I just kind of feel like I don't follow that's why I like about TikTok. Like, I won't scroll and see something that I'm like comparing myself to.
Right,
And I
right.
realized that with Instagram,
the
because I actually was
comparisons.
very late to the game on TikTok. I didn't get actually TikTok until May of this year.
Oh wow.
So I was super late to it because I was so scared that I was going to be addicted, which I am. So I was on like Instagram Reels for like a while because I was like, that's what I was scrolling through. But I realized that with Instagram, people cater to the most perfect life on Instagram. Like you will not see the things that I see on TikTok the way that you do on Instagram.
Right.
I haven't been on Reels since I got on TikTok, but I scroll through it like the other day and I'm like, this is crazy to me. Like all the Reels are like day in my life and like like
Yes,
everything is just so perfect. And I'm just
That's
kind
the
of like,
problem.
that's just so crazy to me. And so I think especially as a woman, it's very hard to be on social media and not compare yourself to other people.
right.
And I could just be saying that because that might just be my own.
No,
like,
I think I
my own
agree.
trauma, my own history.
No, I
but
agree.
I really do feel like it's a little bit more difficult for
For women,
women. I know you're not laughing at me, Jay.
I don't know who you laughing at.
Oh, okay.
It's just bad timing.
Right. Bad
It's
timing.
bad timing. It's bad
But-
timing.
Yeah, so I just kind of I wanted to kind of get into that a little bit about how you feel social media might affect like yourself, but also in relationships, because I think many relationships are
Yeah.
ruined because of social media.
100%.
Yeah, I feel like if
yeah.
there was like I truly believe if there was no Instagram, that relationships would be healthier.
a little healthier.
A little
100%,
healthier. I should say
yeah.
healthier, not 100%.
No, because relationships were shitty before Instagram. I'm not gonna
Exactly,
lie.
right,
but
right.
The Instagram, social media in general, like put a different kind of pressure on relationships
Yes.
that probably
Yes.
wasn't there before
Oh, no.
2014, 2013. I think none of it was there before 2012. I'm being honest. Like
Oh, right.
2012, I feel like after 2012, yes, everything just started changing, and they used to have a feature where you can see what other people liked back on
Yes.
Instagram.
Oh my god, I remember that.
Yo, like, do
Yeah,
you know how much
that's-
trouble that
Yes.
got people in?
Yes.
So it's like social media, even in that aspect.
Oh my god, I completely forgot about that. until
Yeah,
you just
I didn't
mentioned
forget. It was
'cause
bad. It was so
It's been
bad.
years.
It's been a hot minute. I don't even know when they took it away, but
I think it was.
It's
I
been a
think it was
while.
like 2019. I definitely remember it was before the. I have a crazy memory, so
It was-
don't think I'm weird. But it was 2019 because I remember being in my apartment and scrolling to the left and wondering where it went. And I remember it was my very first apartment. I have weird memory.
See? Me, I don't really remember it because I've never been so married to social media. So when someone told me about it, I'm like, oh shit, for real? So then I saw, and it looked a little too much for me. Like I saw everybody, I'm like, damn, like I'm like, oh, he liked the booty pic.
Yes.
Like I laugh, but I'm like, damn, I can't sit here and watch what other people like.
Oh, yeah, no,
because
for
then it's
sure.
like, okay, maybe I like it too, and maybe that was the thought of it, but it really just created a lot of insecurities in
It did.
relationships.
100%.
It created weird comparisons where you as the man, like, you're not necessarily making a comparison, but if you like a picture and your girl sees that you like that picture, even if she doesn't say anything to you,
She sees
in
it.
her mind, she's like, oh, that's what he likes?
Yes.
Because the word like is literally what you did.
100%.
That double tap, like, I never put so much weight. I'm like, yo, all I did was double tap. Like, how much do I like it? All I did was double tap.
Right,
like,
right,
is it
right.
that? But again, that's from a male's perspective,
Yes.
where a woman will see that and be like, oh, this is what he's into. So what the hell are you doing with me then?
Right,
and then it could
right.
create such a weird air between people. It can create separation.
Yep.
Like, some people are just too tied into it and they'll just be on the Instagram
Yep.
all day liking this, looking into people's like, oh, they have this, they have that. When are we going on
Yeah.
vacation? When are we taking you?
God, the
We're not
travel
going to
thing is a
parties.
huge
Like,
thing.
yeah, it's like, it's just the comparison is too much.
comparison, it
It's just
is.
way too much.
Right.
And I do feel like it's more of a woman thing, but it's not excluding men, because men they play in that mess too. Like,
Yeah.
they'll play around a lot in that mess.
Yeah. No, I mean, I definitely agree with everything that you're saying. I think that the liking has been, I mean, I think the liking of the pictures has been a huge controversy since Instagram came out, with men liking it. And I've even had this conversation. I remember I used to be friends with someone. I'm no longer friends with her, but she always found that was one of the most disrespectful things her husband could do. Like, she
Like another woman's picture, like-
woman's picture. Like, she thought that
crazy.
was like so disrespectful. She just, and not that we would like argue about it, but I'm like, and I kind of was on your notion too. I'm like, look, I've liked other males' pictures.
Right.
Now, I will say though that males post way different than females do though.
True.
Right. Females post
True.
their booties, their bodies, while men don't.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're following like a fitness person or something.
Right,
like,
but
you know what I
even
mean?
then,
But
you're
for the
still
most part,
liking it
like,
for
women
his
are,
fitness.
there's Instagram models now for a
Right,
reason,
right.
right? So like what men usually like is very different than what I might like from a male. Like, a male might just post him at like, I don't know, like at a club and he's wearing all his clothes, right? And it's like, okay, like, yeah, he's a good looking man. Let me like it, right?
Right.
But women, like, oh, no, I'm going to show you how I look when I have no clothes on. So then men will like that. So it's different than how, so I would always say,
I guess, you know what I'm saying? Like,
so I guess I would look at, like, when her and I would talk about it, I'm like, I don't see the big deal because I like it too. But then I started realizing, like, okay, she's looking at it as he's liking a woman that has no clothes
he's
on.
literally looking at her and saying,
Yes.
I like this. And because,
Yeah.
and I promise you, the thought is not that deep. Like, men are not as deep as women be trying to make it seem.
That's
Like, we're a
true.
lot more simple. It's like,
You guys are just a little bit
oh shit,
not
she
as
out.
smart.
Like, all you do, like, you'll look, her ass is out, right? Like,
Right.
damn. Oh, she outside. Click, click, and then you move.
And then you keep moving on.
But I
right.
think women be like, they think we go, shit. God damn.
But
If
you
we're on
have
the
to
same
admit-
picture, it's
you
not
have to
that
admit,
deep.
Some
like,
men are probably like that. though.
I'm not taking that away. That
Right.
some men probably really are like that. Like, damn, I like this. Like, but it's not. We're not sitting here licking the screen types. Like, we're not doing that. So it's like,
Yeah.
but it doesn't matter because all women.
Yep.
I know this is gonna sound so toxic. Most women think the same. So even if not all men are
Mm-hmm.
doing that, if one woman thinks men are doing that, all women think men are doing that.
Yeah.
And they put us all under the same umbrella and
Yeah.
they all think we're licking the screen and going straight to the DMs.
Not licking the screen.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's okay. And I have a question for you, right? Because I think it's very weird how your friend thought it was very disrespectful,
Yeah.
right? So she holds Instagram in some type of high regard. But if a man was to come up to you and you're in a relationship, he asks you for your phone number or your Instagram, which are you going to give him first?
My Instagram.
You're going to give me your Instagram, right? Because you think the phone number is so personal, right?
Yeah.
Because that's how women look at
Yeah.
it. But if I go like a picture of a woman, that's wild personal. But you just gave that man the same access that I have to a woman to like your
Right.
personal pictures. You get what I'm saying? Like,
It's so funny. We were talking about that the other day. I was
Yeah,
talking about with
like-
someone about the difference between Instagram and the
and
number and which
yeah.
one's worse to give out.
I think the Instagram is worse. You
think so?
It is. It's just I don't care. I don't care because I just don't care. But the Instagram is worse. If he has your phone number, what can he really do with that if you never respond? If he has your Instagram, he can see you every day. He can see what you wore last week. He can check every story, see what you ate, because people really
But-
live on social media.
Right.
He has way more access to you on Instagram than he does with your number. He doesn't know anything with your number.
Yeah, but I think it goes back to like prior social media time, right? When that was the way to get in contact with people is
Right.
your phone number. But you're right. I do understand what you're saying, that it's more personable.
It's way more
But I think,
personable.
I guess I look at it as like, hey, I have X amount of followers on Instagram. You're just another one.
Right.
Well, my phone number, it's like,
Yes.
okay, you can text me, and then now you can call me. Now you can FaceTime me. Now you could be sending me text messages.
And he can do all that through Instagram.
through DMs,
and it's
yeah.
even worse. But
That's true.
But the thing is, women disassociate the two for some reason when it comes to them.
Yeah.
But get mad if her man is liking booty pictures.
Yeah.
Because Instagram is only important when the man is doing X, Y, Z. But
Yeah.
if a man is doing it to her, it's not. Oh, it's nothing. He's a nobody. He's just another follower. It's like, damn, that's
Right.
crazy. But if I'm telling you she's just some chick I follow,
Yeah.
it's not that. It's deeper. It has to be, right? But when it comes to the women, it's just not that. I don't know why.
I mean, that's true. I get what you're saying. It's
Yeah.
actually funny. I remember, not to get too off track, but the same friend that I was with, I remember her and I, we went to a club. This was like 3 years ago, or maybe even more than 3 years ago. We went to a club. It was just her and I, and there was 3 men that had walked up to us, talking to us, blah, blah, blah. And as she was in a relationship, I was with my husband. We weren't married, not even engaged at that point. But she was just like, they were like, oh, like, we're like, hey, we're just
Yeah.
here to, it's just us two. We're not trying to pick up anyone tonight,
Right,
blah, blah,
right.
blah. And and she had said, like, we'll give you our Instagrams. We're not going to give you our number, but we'll give you our Instagrams. And it was like, she had said, like, she felt like that was better, like, because, and they were like, we told them, like, hey, I have a boyfriend. We both have boyfriends. And then, like, they were like, all right, like, yeah, no problem. Like, hey, do you want to be like our wing woman for the night, kind of thing? It ended up being like, they were friendly, like, they
Right,
were
right.
respected it. They weren't like, okay, F you guys are ugly anyway, how some men be. But but it's funny that you say that, because it was the same woman that was like, so she put Instagram at a specific
It was
standard,
at a high pedestal, but she was so quick to give it out.
Yeah.
And it's like, what they don't understand is when you give out that Instagram, especially now they got the likes and stuff, you got to think about it. Men take their time. Like, men really take their time to, like, infiltrate if they're trying to get somebody. If they really want you, they're going to work through ways of getting you. So not having your phone number is a joke. I don't need your phone number. What do I need your phone number for if
Yeah.
I have access to these pictures?
That's true.
You know what I'm
That's true. I
saying?
never looked at it like that.
No,
But yeah. But now, also,
Right.
I'm curious though, because I think we talked about this a little bit on a different episode. But do you feel that, and this is how I think another big reason how mental health affects relationships is the posting of each other. I think this is a huge thing, and I think that many women, and I know I'm a feminist. I love women, but I do think that women really put posting on a high level. That if you don't post me, you don't care about me, you don't love me.
Yo, it's crazy. It doesn't matter what you do in real life. You can buy flowers, take
yep.
out, pay bills.
But
if I don't
and-
post you, it's not real.
And it's because
That's
of how
crazy.
much people post their life.
Right.
That the moment that their boyfriend gets some flowers, posting. The moment that their boyfriend gets some bracelet, posting. The moment
post it.
that we're going to Walmart, posting.
Post it.
Like, it's just
Because
everything.
they live on social media. I understand because I'm engaged, so I get it. Like,
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you very much. I get it. So it's like, I'm gonna make sure I do show off my relationship because I know, hey, I'm on Instagram. This is what it is. Like, I'm here to post the best parts of my life. So
Right.
what you're gonna see is my fiance,
Yep.
my kids, my fiance. That's really what my Instagram is. All
Yeah.
my fiance and kids. But it's like, on the other side of that, it's like, damn, like, I always know when someone's doing bad in their relationship because I see a bunch of pictures of them going out and a bunch of stories. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you always see. So it's like, I can't say I don't get it. Like, I get it. I just don't, it doesn't hold as much weight because I'm happy in real life.
Right.
I don't care if you think I'm happy or not on Instagram. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
But
No,
I
makes
think for
sense.
some people, it's like if I'm happy on social media or if I appear happy, everyone's going to think I'm happy and then maybe I'll be happy. But
Yep.
you're not actually happy.
Yeah.
Like, you know this. I know
100%.
I know
It's
a few
like-
people who have broken up, but because they're still in a relationship on social media.
Like, you mean like
On social
celebrities,
media,
or do you
no,
mean like
real life people. I know, like, in person.
obviously, you
Yeah,
know
no,
those
in
celebrities.
person they're like, yo, listen, we're taking a break, but don't change your status on Facebook.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the moment the world knows that
Yep.
y'all broke up, then y'all really broke up.
Yep.
If only y'all two know y'all broke up, nothing really happened. Nothing
Right,
has to
that's
change.
true.
Y'all can spend the same amount of time with each other, but the moment you post single,
Right.
oh, the floodgates. Everything
Right.
is open.
Yeah,
then the
that's
world
true. I get
knows.
what you're saying. Yeah, but that also goes back to like people's insecurities of like
Huge.
just you know, hey, if I'm going to break up with you, like that's it, we're severing ties. And if you want to go and post that you're single, okay, then I have to now deal with the, I guess, the
it's
consequences
it's
or whatever.
Because it's different now. Like the atmosphere is different. If I post, which I'm not gonna do, but if I post I'm single right now, my DMs will be flooded.
Yeah, but you don't do that. There's no like, posting status as single on Instagram.
No, Instagram you could do it.
Like
you post your story
like, you mean,
single, like you'll just put if you put
yeah.
single and wave that flag and then share that same story on
I
Facebook.
get what you're saying. Yeah.
My DMs are not gonna just be flooded by women, but men. Yo, bro, what happened? Yo, you good? Everyone's gonna want to know what happened, and I think that's what most women and some men are afraid of. It's like once you open those floodgates, there's no going back.
Yeah.
Because if me and you are having this issue privately,
That's
no one
so
knows
true.
but me and you.
There is no going back.
There's
I like
no
how you
going
put
back.
it that way, because now as soon as you portray that to other people, now your relationship is considered unstable or weak because
and
now
everybody
you posted,
sees that. And then
yes.
that to me is a greater disrespect than liking a booty pic. But
That's true.
That I think is where like the real problem with social media comes in, because if everybody thinks it's real, then it's cool. But the moment people think there's a chink in that armor in your relationship, that's it. Like they're all coming for you.
And I think that like, so my husband has posted me since the very beginning of our relationship, right? And I was actually with someone for a long time before him, before I met him. But he was not a social media person,
right?
Like, but he never posted me, never ever posted me. So when I got with my husband, I was like, it felt very weird for me that someone was actually posting a picture of us and then seeing the likes. And I'm like, oh, like this is weird. Like someone's posting me on social media. Like this is just so weird. And so, but he's done it since the very beginning. And, you know, especially like our relationship coming from two different cultures, coming from a lot of different, my way of life was very different than his. Like it was just very different. And, you know, unfortunately he would get comments about like me, like not like so much like DMs, but when we would go out, people would say like certain things about me because I'm not African, I'm I'm light skinned. So a lot of it was like, oh, I saw you with your white girl the other day, or which I am not white, but whatever. And like, and like a lot of it was like, I remember like we were at some place together, and I was with my cousin and my sister and him. It was like this big, we were at a club, and me and my cousin, my sister, we were just chilling, we were having a good time, but we weren't like twerking, we weren't going crazy. Right. I don't know how to shake my butt. I just don't. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna sit here and look like a fool, but I'm just gonna chill. Right. And somebody was behind us, like basically talking about like how, oh, like, you know, what's wrong with them? Like, you know, oh, you know, them white girls, like, why aren't they twerking, all that stuff? And like my cousin is half black, half Puerto Rican too. So it's kind of like, and that for me is just not saying that like I didn't appreciate my husband posting me. Of course, it's nice, but then you kind of open the floodgates, like you said, about people then criticizing me. I mean, this was a long time ago. This was back in like 2018, 2019, and so now I feel like a lot of people, like, you know, like
they're used to you now.
Like, like now it's like for me, it was just very much. It was kind of crazy that he like would like post, because I was never used to that. But
no, and I can understand that. I didn't come from a space of posting people. Like I was not that person like whatsoever. But when I met V, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm showing her the fuck off. Like,
well, right. That's and I'm not trying to like toot my own horn or anything, but my husband never posted anybody that he was with.
No, same.
And that's why, like, I remember he posted on Snapchat like once on one of his stories. This was like a couple months before he went on Instagram, and his friends went crazy.
No,
like calling him like, oh my god, who is she? Who is she? Like on the phone, like, you know, he really likes you.
Because he wants to show you off, like, And I don't know your husband, but I don't, if he was thinking in that sense, because that's exactly how I was thinking before V. I posted no one for real.
Right.
Like, I never posted a picture with me with the person for real. Like, it wasn't me that posted it.
Right.
If it went up, I definitely didn't post it. So when I posted V, like, I was showing her off. I was proud of it.
Yeah, right.
I knew people would have things to say. I'm a big black guy. She's a small Spanish woman. And it's like, oh, you love you some Spanish. You know what I'm saying? It's like, listen, bro, I could care less how y'all feel about it.
Yeah,
like, because I don't really.
Like, because love is love.
Yeah, love is love. I really don't care. Like, if y'all feel like I should be with a black woman, or I should be with a white woman, or I should be with a parrot, like, that's your opinion. Like, that shit don't got nothing to do with me. I'm going to love who I love and show off who I love.
Yeah, and it doesn't negate who else you might have loved in the past, or who. I just always feel like.
Oh, no, it negates everything. Nah, I post her on my page. I've never loved anyone else before that.
Right, exactly.
Nothing. No relationship existed before that.
Right,
and I
right.
think that's what it is too. I think that's the problem with social media though. But again, me understanding what social media is, it's like me posting her should tell people, hey, this is what it is when you don't come here thinking like I'm by myself.
Right.
And I think that's the
true.
dangers of not posting someone. Like,
Yes.
if
That's very true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like if my page was public and you never see kids, you don't see
Yep.
fiance, you just see me outside. I look single.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah,
100%.
like-
and there have been people who are saying that like, oh, I won't post anyone until we're engaged. I won't post anyone until the day that I get married to that person.
I don't like
Yeah,
those.
and a lot of people have like talked about how that is like a problem because at the end of the day, yes, social media shouldn't be everything, but it is everything.
But it's part of
It
life
kind of
now, so you
is.
kind of have to
Yeah.
get with the program. You
Yep.
don't have to like feed into it, but
Yeah.
you do have to get with the program partially, especially if the person you're with doesn't share your full thought process. Like
Yeah.
I know she doesn't look at it like that. Like she might. It might weigh a little bit more, so for sure I'm gonna post.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure I post. You know,
Yeah,
to give her that reassurance because it's like, why not?
Yeah.
It doesn't cost me anything to post. Like,
Right, right.
who am I hiding her from?
right,
You get what I'm
exactly.
saying?
Yep.
So, and it's vice versa. I don't care if I'm posted or not. Like, I don't. I just don't mind.
Yeah,
It's just for
yeah.
me, it
I
doesn't.
mean, I think it
not
definitely
the
is
same,
different
yeah.
for a little bit, but either way. But so I just wanted to talk a little bit about that too because I think it plays a large role in just life today,
Right,
in
right.
relationships today, and everything like that too. So yeah, but yeah. So anything else that you wanted to add with social media or?
I would just hope people would wake up like and use it for what it's for and to
Yep.
be social and network and be friendly and check up. I haven't had a class reunion, a high school reunion because there's no real reason to.
Right,
because I
we're
see
all-
everything you
yeah,
guys are doing.
that's
So
so
it's
true.
like if I want to check up on, Barbara from the class of 07, I just
Right, right.
Barbara, oh shit, she has 6 kids.
Yeah.
Great. That's awesome. You feel me? And it's like I think that's the benefits and the plus side of social
Sure.
media.
Yeah,
And if
I
you
mean,
use
right, because I was gonna say we didn't really get into the
the
benefits,
benefits,
of social media.
but I mean, because there's so much negative to
There-
talk
right,
about,
right.
but because people use everything wrong, you know what I'm saying? They
right.
overuse anything. Too much of anything is bad.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter
no,
what it is. Too much of
100%,
anything is
yeah.
bad. So if we use it the right way in moderation, it would be amazing. Like it's a
Yeah.
great place to be. Like I see I can't watch the pod every day, but I see your stuff on social media.
Right, right. Yeah,
I
that's
seen you on
true.
social media before I met you. I'm like, oh, okay, I like this. Okay, they're calm. Like you see, I'm not yelling on the pod. Like you know what I'm saying? I'm calm.
I guess we're
this
too
episode.
calm
You
and
guys are very calm, but that's the benefits of social media
Yeah.
to spread. Whatever it is you think you want to spread out to the world, to the masses. It's
Yep.
great when you use in the proper context, but people just put way too much
Way
into
too much
it
into it, yeah.
rather than moderating it.
Yep.
Like it's their life. Like some people, what's that weirdo guy who didn't want to talk to his mom in person anymore because she didn't have enough followers?
What?
Like it's gonna get worse before it gets better.
No, I agree, and
Yeah.
I wanted to say too, it's like the highlight reels, like, and that's why I say especially Instagram. Like I've been on TikTok where people will cry, people will tell, I'm
Oh,
having
yeah,
a really
they get
bad day.
real.
Like
They get real on
Instagram is
TikTok.
not like that. Like all they post is their highlight reels, and all they need is the right angles, the
That's
right
it.
makeup, the right filter.
Everybody's smiling, perfect
Yep,
teeth, big
everybody's-
butts,
yep,
muscles. It's all that. And then I go on Instagram and just laugh at it all. I'm like, oh, this is stupid. Then when I in Instagram, I got a bone to pick. Real quick bone. When I didn't understand what reels were yet, because I was on TikTok first,
Yeah,
I got caught looking at the reels and treating it as if it was TikTok. Then when I realized, yo, this shit is trash. Like, what am I watching?
Yes,
Then I'm like,
exactly.
oh, I'm on Instagram. Oh my God. And I would like get out and go straight back to TikTok.
Yep.
And then I'm like, okay, you got me.
Instagram is
You
just
got
so
me.
much perfectionism, even on
Instagram is
Reels.
trash.
It's
Yeah.
it's so much perfectionism,
It's
and
too
that's
much.
why I try to stay away from Instagram as much as possible. Yeah, but like I said, there are benefits to social media. That's why me and Josephine wanted to do a podcast for mental health because I advocate for mental health through and through. I mean, I'm a therapist. I believe in those who experience mental health issues, and I want them to have a voice. So
Right.
that was our kind of our whole thing. Like that was our goal to be able to do that. So there are definitely benefits, but you're right. I think that just to moderation, and as long as what you're kind of like spewing out there is positive, and if
Right.
it's advocating for something, I'll agree to it too.
Right. And if
Yeah.
I don't like what you're doing, if
Yeah.
you don't like what somebody's posting, just don't
follow.
follow.
Yeah,
Just don't
right.
follow. Don't watch.
Yeah.
Just avoid it. I think it's much easier than complaining about what this guy said, that guy said. Just don't
Yeah, and
follow.
all the arguments too.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. But I really appreciate you being here with me today,
Thank you
Rob.
for
It was a
having me.
very good conversation. I really appreciate it. So we always end with an affirmation at the end of our podcast
Okay,
episodes.
then you start first, so then I can follow.
I was gonna say, do you have anything you want to
No,
affirm?
you go first.
I
I'll
was gonna say,
follow
I
up.
don't. We used to be so much better at. We used to like write down our affirmations. Now we have to think about it on a whim. Okay, so let me think of how it relates to social media. Okay, so I will. Today's affirmation is I will accept myself no matter what I see on social media.
Okay.
I will always accept myself no matter what. Don't include the social media part, Jay. Do you have anything?
I will post more family pictures. I don't know. I mean, I will hide V's booty pictures on social media. I don't know.
It's fine.
I will use Instagram less and use TikTok more. There we go. There we go. I affirm that. We'll do that.
All right. Well, thank you so much again.
No problem.
We hope everyone.
There's I ruined her show, bro.
No, you're fine. I hope everyone has a great and peaceful week, and we will see you guys next time for episode 17. Bye.